Hello again, and today we have another video about the ongoing Eminem discussion. And a few days ago I posted Royce responding to Jerome's comment about Eminem, and if you missed that, click the link that pops up now. So Jerome responded to Royce recently, and even more ignorance oozes out this time around, but at least he didn't run to Vlad this time around to respond to Royce. In over 2 decades now, Jerome only makes it to the headline featuring Vlad and talking about Eminem, but this time he decides to go solo. Now, towards the end of this video, I have some interesting facts about Jerome that you don't want to miss, and one of them is in direct reference to comments he made in this live stream. As always, before we get started, remember to subscribe and turn on notifications if you enjoy content like this, and also remember to smash the like button. The likes are free. So during Jerome's live stream, he says, and I quote, "I bet y'all thought I wasn't gonna reply to Mr. Royce the 5'9". Like, who's Jerome kidding? When all is done to make it to headlines is talk about people like Eminem. Of course, everyone knew Jerome was gonna reply to Royce. Social media attention gives a high, similar to drugs, so why would Jerome stop now? And Jerome moves on to sneak diss Royce about people always asking Royce about Eminem. Jerome says, "People don't really ask me about you, Royce. They ask me about Eminem," and he ends it with, "I get it, you're a loyal guy." Now remember, in my last video about this, Royce already talked about how he has all his friends back, and since Eminem is one of his friends, he'll always be on the side of his friend, but Jerome thinks this is something to pick on when it's a no-brainer. Now, Eminem is the biggest artist of the 21st century globally, so not just in the United States, and the fact that people know that Royce is close friends with Eminem makes it reasonable that people will always ask Royce about the biggest artist of the 21st century. And the irony of it all is that the only time people knew about Jerome is when he started to talk about Eminem. So while he tried to sneak it in that people don't ask him about Royce, they only ask about Eminem, Jerome misses the point that he's only making headlines at the moment for talking about Eminem. So Royce works with greatness Eminem, while Jerome talks about Eminem negatively, feeding off clout crumbs. Now, if you've been following the story, Jerome has been going on and on about Eminem right from the beginning when he realized that Eminem was the only way he'll make it to the headlines of hip-hop publications. And then in his live stream, he tries to play the victim, claiming that others have talked about Eminem in Vlad videos, so why is Royce picking on him? Can you believe this guy? Jerome states, "In general, black people don't listen to Eminem. It's not a diss, it's a fact. Did you come at Conway with all this energy? You came for me. Did you come at Gucci Mane, who also stated the same thing?" Now, we have several tweets and interviews where Jerome talks about Eminem negatively, and at this point, it's getting hard to count, but I don't recall others including Gucci Mane and Conway going on and on about Eminem, going on what I'll describe as a press run on Eminem, but that doesn't stop Jerome from using this logic to defend his position. Even this particular live stream he did is still centered on Eminem. We don't see other rappers doing that, and he wonders why Royce is picking on him. And one more thing, Jerome doesn't understand what the word fact means, and this live stream was proof. A fact is a thing that's proved to be true, and I'm yet to see proof that black people don't listen to Eminem. And if you agree with Jerome, can you send me a link to the study that proved black people don't listen to Eminem when all I see around me in my daily life are black people that listen to Eminem, and not only that, they also believe Eminem is at least one of the greatest ever, and that's something I'm yet to see one person say about Jerome. And what's the recent obsession with what people in the hood listen to in hip-hop? So let's assume people in the hood play more 6ix9ine, Gucci Mane, and Migos at the moment. Does that mean they are better than Jay-Z or Nas because of the hood's choices? Regardless of the angle you look at Jerome's arguments from, his arguments are weak, but still harder than anybody in his career, since he's only remembered when he talks about Eminem and not for his music. And if you've been waiting for the facts I spoke about early on, prepare to be amazed. In the live stream, Jerome bragged about Brand Nubian's legendary status and claimed they got 5 mics from the Source magazine, a magazine that's a shadow of its former self, which shows you how Jerome is stuck in 1990 when he still had little relevance. But the fact is, 15 albums originally received 5 mics from the Source, and although other albums later got re-rated 5 mics, I'll focus on the 15 that originally received 5 mics from the Source, which includes One for All by Brand Nubian, a group Jerome was part of, but it's widely known that he was the weak link in the group, so essentially, the other MCs were doing Jerome a favor. Now when you head over to RIAA's website, did you know that of all the albums that originally received 5 mics, Brand Nubian sticks out like a sore thumb, and this could explain why Jerome is mad at whites who make up the biggest consumers of hip-hop in the US, and that's reasonable since they make up a majority of the population of the country. Now in 15 albums, only 2 albums failed to earn a certification in the US from the RIAA, and the guess of one of those albums should be easy since we're talking about Jerome. One for All by Brand Nubian and The Naked Truth by Lil Kim are the only 2 albums in 15 albums that received 5 mics from the Source that failed to earn a certification in the United States. So to put it simply, at a time when the Source was relevant, the 5 mics rating for One for All wasn't enough to market the album to earn a certification in the United States. The other 13 albums all earned certifications, including Eric B. and Rakim's Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em, Bun B's Trill OG, Nas's Illmatic, etc. So while other albums enjoyed commercial success and great critical reception, Jerome's group had to settle for only 5 mics because music consumers weren't feeling the album. Now we see why Jerome stays saltier than the Atlantic Ocean, and there's even more facts to go with this flopping. The 15 artists and groups that originally received 5 mics from the Source but 1 have all earned gold, platinum, and multi-platinum certifications in the US. There's only one artist/group that's missed out on hitting the double in the big leagues. When I say double, I'm talking about great critical reception and great commercial success. And since you know who we are talking about, you know the odd group in 15 artist/group is Brand Nubian. Every other artist or group with 5 mics enjoyed gold, platinum, or multi-platinum certifications in their career except Brand Nubian. And if you ever wondered why Jerome is filled with so much hate, now you know the reason. He doesn't just have hate for Eminem, he also has hate for hip-hop consumers in general, and that includes whites and blacks. Jerome still can't believe that even the magazine, at the height of its power, The Source, wasn't enough for him and his group to make it to the top, while other artists with 5 mics originally achieved much more. If you know the story about Jonah in the Bible, then picture Jerome as Jonah. All Brand Nubian had to do was throw Jerome off the ship, and maybe they would have done much better, since he was the weak link in the group. Oh, and one more fact. Before the pursuit of clout crumbs began, Jerome was a fan of Eminem and admitted that he listened to Eminem's music. Jerome also responded to Royce's comments about not viewing him as cool or the standard to measure hip-hop artists, which was a factual statement by Royce. Jerome is certainly not regarded as the standard to measure hip-hop artists, and no one is the standard in reality, but as soon as we get some facts involved, you know Eminem is the man. Now, Jerome responded to Royce's comment stating, "What makes me the yardstick of what's cool? Being a black man. That's why white people want to be like us. My vibration makes me cool. I'm using mother as a term of endearment. I'm not trying to beef with you, bro." I'm sorry to break it to you, Jerome, but going by the fact that hip-hop consumers ignored you and your group even after 5 mics from the Source at a time when the magazine was relevant shows that music consumers certainly don't want to be like you, black or white. Speak for yourself and don't include the entire race. That's a fact, and one thing we can take from this is that while Jerome debates blacks don't listen to Eminem, we now know that both blacks and whites don't listen to his music even back then. Jerome, aka Jonah, has been a flop right from the beginning and has resorted to hating on greatness to gain some attention. So leave your thoughts below, and if you enjoyed the revelation I give in this one, facts about Jerome, hit that like button and leave a comment. Subscribe if you haven't, and see you on the next one. And by the way, I'm off to listen to The Source by Eminem while I sort my chips with Jerome's saltiness.